Hello everybody, Tracy Brown here, and I want to thank everybody who wished me well on my birthday. Not only just for my birthday, but I was sick and I'm still kind of getting through some of this chest frogginess and head frogginess, so I really appreciate y'all being here and thanking me. And so I wanted to, it got brought up to me twice today, one time and just something that somebody said, and another time I'm working on my professional training, which starts next week. I'm super excited to guide other RDs and coaches to help more of us break free from diet mentality and learn how to be more embodied in general, not just in tune with hunger and fullness, but embodied in our lives, and to understand how this is a process, and it might take some of us a couple months. It might take some of us many, many, many years, and there's not really an end date. There's just continued becoming. So the reason I'm bringing that up is because, going through some of my materials and, what I tend to talk about in some of the first sessions, and maybe it's the first session, maybe it's the third session, but I talk a lot about how I don't have the expectation, and I hope you don't either, that you have to love your body to get more attuned to your signals of hunger and fullness, because sometimes you're not going to get hunger and fullness signals at the beginning of this process. So you can't really wait to okay, well, I love my body so I can hear my hunger and fullness signals better. That helps, but that's not a prerequisite. It's really about, am I willing to hate my body less? And that does matter, because it's hard to shift gears behavior-wise. And this is not all about behaviors, this whole thing. Anyway, sorry about the sun, guys. It's not really all about behaviors. It's about, can I suspend this dread about my body enough? See if that will help. Maybe not. Can I suspend my dread and dislike about my body enough to honor the fact that I'm hungry, or that I don't feel hungry and I need to eat because waiting too long makes me too hungry later? That's care, and that's actually the opposite of hatred. That's, well, I don't want these other side effects enough, which is an example of care, to not eat because I don't like my body. So it's a big deal. If that's where you're starting from, congratulate yourself for that, because again, it takes a lot of us many months and even years to get really fully clear about our hunger fullness signals. And some of the things that get in the way of that are just, you've been chronically restricting and overriding your signals for a really long time. It could be there's just other stuff going on. We don't all come into this hunger fullness learning with bodies that are functioning typically, let's say. I have clients that are under a lot of stress, which is most of us, but that may have accumulated stress over time, where it's easier to get hypoglycemic, or it's their bodies are more sensitive to whether it's certain foods, or under certain stress levels. Sometimes people get delayed gastric emptying, which is your stomach contents are emptying slower, or a whole host of things. Hormones get out of whack, whether it's PCOS or it's something else that, anyway, that could be a permanent thing or it might be a temporary thing, that the signals are there, and we just have a lot more sensitivity to things, whether it's stress levels or lack of sleep or even nutrient deficits or deficiencies or whatever it is that needed to be addressed, that we can still do the hunger fullness work. It's just going to be a little different than somebody who comes at this and everything's working pretty good. It's just that we have to listen and honor more. And when I say just, it's not that easy, but that's your only barrier. Sometimes there's many more barriers. So I really encourage people to take a step back with compassion and with patience, that it might take you longer. So if you're new to this whole work, and it's like you're just now deciding, I'm going to stop dieting because I know it doesn't work. It makes me more miserable in all kinds of ways. And so I'm not asking you or telling you that you need to even like your body. Our job right now is to maybe work toward neutrality. and some acceptance of, gosh, if I don't eat, I don't focus. If I don't eat, I feel more irritable. If I don't eat, I can't be as connected or attuned to people. And some of us are pretty good. I know I was really good at like doing things for people and doing all the external things the world says we should be doing, but definitely wasn't attuned to myself. And it kept a lot of my dysfunctional thinking around how I get needs met really stuck and in place. So I really didn't have much choicefulness. I was kind of a one note. I did everything the same. Somebody needed something, I wouldn't even ask if they needed it. I would just go do it. And so it was a very much a one note. So it wasn't that I wasn't attuned to some things. I was very attuned to certain things, but very skewed attuned to others. And so learning to humble myself a little bit to the idea that, yeah, I think I'm pretty human and I have needs too. And I actually am pretty resentful that I don't get my needs met, but I'm really feeling guilty that I have these needs or that I need them to get them met. Otherwise, I will continue this cycle of this misattuned eating or movement or whatever it is that were my struggles. So again, if you're coming to this process, it's not about loving your body first. It's about some gratitude maybe for what it can do, or simple humbleness that I have a body that does have needs. And restricting or binging and thinking that'll go away if I lose weight is not going to change that. So when I say not going to change those behaviors. So what I'm thinking here as I'm talking is some very, very, very not simple things, but on paper, they're uncomfortable things. And what we would come down to is, even if you don't know your signals very clearly, being willing to say, you know what, if I wait too long, I'm going to feel bad. Or if I don't do any planning, I'm going to probably be a little chaotic about my eating and how I get it and what I eat and not feel as comfortable or satisfied. Or if I wear clothes that just don't fit me or that I don't like, I'm inherently not going to feel as okay. And so maybe addressing those three things first can bring you some feedback about what it would be like. Okay, maybe the next step is I feel a little bit more comfortable in my clothes because they fit my body. And even if I have to mechanically eat a little bit every 3 hours just to notice something, or maybe I notice nothing and get curious about, like, how come I don't notice much? And go from there, like, well, what could that be about if I don't notice much? And you want to give it some time. It might take you. I have a lot of clients that just do mechanical eating for months, like 6 months, or maybe even a year before they even try to do really weaning off of that mechanical eating and going in not transmuting, but kind of crossing that bridge into intuitive eating. And so all of that's okay. We all have our own path and process, and that is a caring thing to do what you need to do to get one step closer to more connected eating. So I'm hoping this is helpful. I kind of meandered a little bit of every place because I know that there are so many factors that go into feeling that you have to like your body to be successful at this. It's like you don't at the beginning. Eventually, I think you're all going to want to. I know I did. But at first my goal really was about, like, I didn't want to think about this as much. And so how can I get there? Is honoring where I'm at and what I need to do with my food to just feel more positive and feel more grounded. And that was what got the ball rolling for me personally. So I'm hoping this was helpful today. I'm going to keep talking about these topics because they are the base. And sometimes we try to jump ahead too many steps and we haven't gotten this step down first. So it's really important that we're doing these base things, and when we feel off track, we come back to it. So until next time, thank you so much, everybody. And I think that's it for today. Thank you all so much and take care. Bye.